My name is Gene, and today we're going to spend some time on the mat just observing how the body absorbs shapes, how the body takes some time to move mindfully from one point to another, knowing that every movement is in itself an extension of your energy. How are you using your energy in space? How are you relating to the space that you take up? So for now, finding your way down to a kneel at the back of your mat, a little toward the back of your mat. Sitting on your ankles, toes uncurled. Shoulders are soft away from the ears. Allow an opportunity to breathe in through the nose as you're settling into your Vajrasana, your Thunderbolt pose. And then breathing out through the nose or taking a sigh or yawn through the mouth. Softening the heart, softening the body as you sink down more, your heels against your rear. Fronts of the calves on the mat. And become aware of how you're feeling. Become aware of the state of energy that your body is carrying. Maybe you're moving through a busy day. Maybe this is the start of your day and you just happen to have whatever energetic state based on the sleep you got. It's just that moment to connect with your space. And if an intention calls out to you, a sankalpa, that heartfelt feeling that you want to spend some time with for your practice, think of taking your hands and clasping it against your heart. The hand closest to your chest might curl ever so slightly, and then the hand on top of your curled hand will allow a cocoon of sorts, just to really connect with your heartbeat and send your intention to your heart space. We'll take just another 5 more breaths. As that time serves you, maybe you want an extra breath or two here, always welcome to linger for a little longer. But taking that inhale, the body weight shifts forward, planting your hands on the mat, walk yourself out to a tabletop, and then allow that moment to tap the tops of your feet on your mat, just giving a little relief to your ankles after having sat on them for a couple minutes. Once you've reconnected with your wrists and knees on the earth, we'll start off with some cat-cows here. So taking 4 of them, breathe in, abdomen drops, tailbone and crown of the head reach upward to the ceiling. And then exhale, pressing into the earth with your palms, hollowing your rib space, getting a curve in your spine. Breathe in, abdomen drops. Once more, crown of the head and tailbone reach up. And then counter energy as you exhale, chin toward tailbone, giving your spine and ribs a chance to hug. 2 more of these cat-cows at your pace, breathing in. And then breathing out. Last one for you. And then taking that next inhale, reconvene in tabletop, contact points on the mat. And then exhale, just very gently shifting your rear back to the heels. Chest peels toward the fronts of your legs. Balasana, child's pose. Time might help you sink your ankles and your rear closer together. And then the arms can be out in front. You can bring them down to the sides, palms of the hands facing the sun. This is a place of potential energy. You're gathering up your fuel, your force for the day, your force for getting through the rest of your day, depending on the day part you're at. Just taking 3 more breaths here. And if you have your arms to the sides after that pause in child's pose, bring the palms of the hands onto your mat. Take a breath in, walk the palms a little closer just to raise your chest off the legs a bit. And then exhale, walk the hands out to another tabletop. Starting to connect a bit of movement and flow. Inhale to raise your right leg off the mat, flexing into your right foot. And then exhale, crossing that right leg behind the left. Plant your right toes on the mat. And just looking back at your right foot over your left shoulder. From the perspective of the screen, you'll see that as I'm looking over the left shoulder, my right side of the body is starting to get a bit of a stretch. And then, of course, the further back you look over your left shoulder, the more you get yourself into your left rear. Just a couple more breaths in this cross-body twist of sorts. And then take an inhale, springing off of your right toes. Send that leg back across. And once it passes through center, exhale. Plant your right foot on the ground. You can decide if you want the toes pointing toward the top of your mat or turning the foot out a little bit. But from here, you're just sitting back on that left ankle, half child's pose, Ardha Balasana. Take that moment finding that comfortable footing on your right side, and then peel the chest down toward the earth, down toward the left leg. Getting a nice stretch all throughout the inner part of your right leg as you breathe, as you sink down a little bit further. Job, a couple breaths to go. Come back to your intention today, that sankalpa that you're bringing with you. How are you relating to your space? How are you mindfully connecting to the energy that your body contains? And knowing that it's an energy that you wield, that you control, that you use when you need to. So now we'll start connecting a little bit of breath to movement here. You're going to inhale, shift your body weight forward, planting more on your right foot and the palms of your hands. And then exhale, lifting that right leg off the mat, recross it back through center. Inhale, take it back over the left leg, planting your toes on the mat. And then exhale, looking over your left shoulder again at your right foot. Breathe in, lifting the right foot off, cross it back over, and then exhale, send it to the side as you lay back on your left ankle, just for that exhale, half child's pose. Inhale, shift forward, palms on the mat. And then exhale, lifting that right leg again, cross it back over. Inhale, follow through all the way to the other side, cross body twist. And exhale, look over the left shoulder. One last time. Same thing. Breathe in, lift, and start crossing. And then exhale, once it moves past center, plant the foot. Send the hips back to left ankle. Last half child's pose. And then breathe in, shift forward, planting the palms. This time, as you exhale, you're going to send that right foot back. Inner part of the right foot on the mat as you raise your right arm to the sky, stacking your left wrist underneath your left shoulder, Vasisthasana side plank. Breathe. This is your sustained asana, that sustained shape. Really feeling the length on the inner part of your extended right leg. Little bit of a balance as you're here. 2 more breaths. Direct your focus to that lifted right hand or look down at your left hand on the mat for a little extra stability. Maybe even planting your left toes on the mat just to help. From here, take an inhale. Turn your abdomen so that your chest faces the mat, coming up to your right toes on the mat. And then exhale, tucking the right knee under the hip, back in tabletop. Take a couple moments here, just moving the body around organically. Some less specific isometric shapes and more just what's calling out to you. Maybe even drop down to your forearms, just to give your wrists a little bit of a break. Breathe. Little bit of energy awareness, how you're sending that energy out. Expressing your shapes, expressing your reach. Two more breaths. Nice job. So taking another inhale, you're just gonna walk the palms back to your uncurled toes and the knees. Another thunderbolt pose. Another chance to rebound the body a little bit, give the chest a bit of a break. And then option here, always an option, no matter where we're at, to drink some water. Just to hydrate yourself a little bit. So as that time serves you, another chance to regroup, check in on your energy level. How are you feeling? Maybe giving yourself those felt senses of what the mat's like underneath the legs. What's your heartbeat like right now? A little bit of warmth, a little bit of coolness. And then taking your next inhale, the body shifts forward again, back to another tabletop. Take a breath out, tap the feet very briefly on the mat. Give your ankles that extra relief. So taking those alternating shapes now from the left side. We'll start with the longer holds. Breathe in. Left leg now lifts off the mat, flexing into the foot. And then exhale, crossing the left leg over the right. Plant the left toes on the mat or the ground. And look over your right shoulder at your left foot. This side might give you a better glimpse of how that might feel or how it might look. But really thinking about how this feels in your body more than the aesthetic presentation. You're still feeling a stretch all through the left side, through the lower portions of your left side of the torso, even up to the left underarm as you breathe and look. Great work, 2 breaths left. So now moving into that sustained half child's pose. You're going to inhale, springing your left toes off the mat, left foot flexed. And then exhale, cross the left leg back around, plant it along that left side of your space. And then take that moment just checking on your inner left leg. The toes can point toward the center of your mat or turn the foot out ever so slightly. You're still sitting back on that right ankle, half child's pose. Breathe. Just really finding that open space along the left leg, that extra extension, that extra reach, but still working within your energy levels. Maybe this feels a little uncomfortable. You can always slide the left leg a little further back, softening the stretch. Last 2 breaths here. As you're ready, we'll start doing that breath to movement connection. Inhale, shift the body forward, plant the palms on your mat. And then exhale, lifting your left leg, recross it back through center. Inhale, left toes plant on the ground. And exhale, looking back over your right shoulder at the left foot. Inhale, foot lifts, left leg crosses. And then exhale, left foot plants on the left side, sitting back on your right ankle, half child's pose. 2 more times, breathe in, shift forward, and lifting that left foot off the mat. Exhale, it crosses, left toes on the mat, look over your right shoulder. Nice job. Inhale, lift, and cross. And then exhale, plant left foot, sit back on right. Last time, breathe in, shift forward, and then palms on the mat, exhale, left leg lifts, crosses. From here, planting and look, and then inhale, lift. 1 last time, cross it over. Exhale, foot on the ground, half child's pose, breathe. Now you know that plank pose or side plank is coming, Vasisthasana. So inhale, shift the body weight forward, palms on the mat, and then making sure your right wrist is under the right shoulder. Exhale to fan the left foot back, inner part of the left foot on your mat. Left hand then extends upward to meet the sky, Vasisthasana, side plank. Five breaths here, probably one of the longer sustaining shapes for yourself today. Really feeling all 5 of your right fingers planted on the mat. and reaching up with the left hand. How are you exerting your energy today? Great job. Now changing the rhythm a little bit. You're gonna inhale. Bring your left hand to the mat, left toes curled on the mat. And then exhale, shift your body weight forward with the shoulders over the wrists. Right leg sends itself back to the left. Elbows tuck in for chaturanga. Inhale, once you're on the mat, the chest peels up. Elbows tucked into the body, cobra pose. And then toes curled on the mat now. Exhale as your hips raise themselves up. Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Nice time to check in on your feet. Maybe you'll walk them in a step or two. You can always pedal the feet, bending a knee and straightening the other leg a couple times. We'll take 3 more breaths here. Now bringing a little bit more heat, we're going to connect these next movements together. On an inhale, look up at the point between your thumbs. And then exhale, come up to your tiptoes, walk flat-footed, or take a tabletop. The hands meet your feet in an Uttanasana. From forward fold, inhale, the spine raises up halfway, semblance of a tabletop back. And then exhale, softening in the knees, hands reach the earth or your legs, forward fold. One more breath in, the knees bend. Tuck the tailbone in as you roll your spine up vertebrae by vertebrae. And maybe the arms reach upward to the sun. Eventually, you find your way to your mountain pose, your Tadasana. Just breathing here. Feel free to drink some water if you'd like. Feel free to shake the body out a smidge. Again, just collecting all of those energetic sensations. How are you feeling? Where in your body is feeling a little more invigorated, a little more activated? And maybe some of those places could use a little extra energy sent that way. Breathe in through the nose, and then as you exhale, send your prana, your life force energy, to those specific points of address. So before finding your way down to a Savasana, we're just going to move through a Sun Salutation A, really bringing along that mindful energy expenditure. How are you intentionally sending forth yourself in every movement, in every breath, in every state of being that you find yourself in? And then Surya Namaskar, Sun Salutation A. Inhale, the arms reach upward to the sky of your means. As you exhale, the hands release, the hips hinge, heart moves to the legs, Uttanasana. From forward fold, inhale, the spine lifts halfway, lengthening through your tailbone. And then exhale to bend the knees, plant the hands, step hop or float your feet back to high plank. Vinyasa opportunity if you'd like. You're always welcome to skip your vinyasas and just give a downward dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Taking 5 breaths here. Again, you can be still, you can pedal the feet. Maybe you want to give another vinyasa flow for yourself today. If your practice has the energy to expend that extra vinyasa. Nice job. Last 2 breaths. So now, bringing yourself down to your mat, you're going to drop the knees down as you inhale. And then exhale, choosing a hip, left or right, to sit back on. The legs swing through center. And then inviting a seated savasana for yourself today. Find your way to the top of your mat, allowing your legs to fold and bend. Even the option here to give yourself some space, and then bending the knees, opening the knees. Savasana in Baddha Konasana, that bound angle shape. After a bunch of leg extension, it can be nice to welcome a few moments with bent knees. Your hands can be in any kind of mudra or ceiling shape. Touching your index finger and thumb together creates what's called a Gyan Mudra. It's one of the more familiar hand shapes in yoga and meditation. I also offer you an option of taking a bowl. That mudra shape will have your right hand at abdomen level, and then left hand stacked, curled on top. Now, left hand on top of right in your bowl mudra will essentially give you more yin energy, more cooling energy. Maybe that's something that you want to incorporate for your day. You can also have the right hand on top of left if you're more akin to yang energy. Do you want a little bit more fire? Do you want a little bit more vivacity, a little bit more spiritedness in how you address your day? Any of these or none of these, take what feels good for you as we just take a couple moments in meditation. Come back to your breath, come back to your heartbeat, and notice the energy level of your body. A slow practice like this can be great for tuning in to just how you're feeling today. No matter what day part you're in, connecting, checking in with yourself, and knowing that this is a space to address your energy levels as you need. So taking just a couple minutes, be with your thoughts, be with your intention, be with your breath. Let go of any tension, any stiffness, any less thanness that might have joined you on your mat this morning, or afternoon, or evening, or maybe in the middle of the night. The great thing about yoga is you find your way to your mat when your body has the space for it, when you make the time, when you have the energy to address your practice as you need. So enjoy your savasana. I will bring you back to the here and now shortly. starting to bring some awareness back to yourself. Maybe wiggling the fingers a bit, wiggling the toes as you breathe in through the nose. And then welcome that expressive breath out through the nose or sigh through the mouth. Coming back to your mat, coming back to your Baddha Konasana. And then whether you choose to maintain Baddha Konasana or maybe you bring the hands under the knees, close the legs together a bit, and then sliding the legs to fold and cross beneath for more of an easy seat, Sukhasana shape. Invite one last hand shape, a mudra, whether something specific and familiar or something more pronounced or something less pronounced, something more organic to you. Coming back to your intention, your sankalpa today. As you move through a practice, once more exploring your energy, your force of will, your force of self. Every movement, every breath, every action you take has an energy to it. How do you expend it? How do you acknowledge the quality of that energy? And if it is something that you want to adjust or change in some way, how do you make the space to change the quality of that energy into something that suits and resonates with you, something that serves your purpose, your path? It has been my humble honor and continual joy to have shared space with you today, as you have shared space with me. May you always live this life in your own authentic, energetic way, bringing forth your signature radiance to this beautiful planet we share. Because as true today as in the many tomorrows after, this world is made all the better, all the brighter, and all the more vibrant, because you are in it. The luminosity in me cherishes, respects, and will always celebrate the luminous, radiant heart in you. Shanti. Namaste. Thank you for your time. Thank you for spending time with me. I hope you enjoyed this journey with your mat. Until next time, namaste.